That was the last speech from the annual Police Gala Fiesta. Zenith is proud to be sponsoring our city's finest
Signal sheriffs, and especially two of them, can go drop into an eternal void and f themselves. I had a rough week. Not the fun kind. Not the kind you turn into a story at a bar. The kind where the city reminds you it can interrupt your life whenever it wants, then calls the interruption routine. I got stopped. Discretion stop. The most dangerous kind because it doesn't require facts, just mood. You know the type. Badge jacks with that calm voice. Peaceware branding on the uniform. Smiling like they're about to help you. Then the first sentence is always the same. Step out. Not because you did anything, because they want to see if you will. And the second sentence is the trap. Why are you nervous? Because you're holding authority like it's a toy and waiting for me to flinch. Here's the catch-22. If you're calm, you're suspicious. If you're upset, you're aggressive. If you talk, you've got attitude. If you don't talk, you're non-compliant. If you blink too slow, you're on something. If you blink too fast, you're hiding something. They don't enforce law, they enforce posture. So I'm standing there, hands visible, voice steady, doing the whole polite citizen dance. Because in this city, the first rule is, don't give them a story. But the officer keeps circling the same questions like he's fishing for a tone. Where are you going? Why you out? Why your comms lit up? Why you wearing that? Why you looking at me like that? You know what's funny? They ask why like they care about reasons. They don't want reasons. They want friction. They want you to say one wrong syllable so the stop becomes justified retroactively. And I had been having a week. One of those weeks where your patience is hanging by a thread and the thread is also being taxed. So he hits me with the line, the one that's designed to make you small. Got an attitude tonight. And I did what you're not supposed to do. I smiled. Not a big smile, not a friendly one, just that small half smile you get when you realize you're inside someone else's power fantasy. I said real calm, no officer, that's just my face. It's the only thing in this city that doesn't need your approval. That was the joke. That was my mistake. Because he didn't laugh. Of course he didn't laugh. This isn't humor territory, this is ego territory. And when you bruise an ego with a badge, you don't get a warning. You get a demonstration. His partner stepped in like it was rehearsed. Hand on shoulder, pivot, hard guidance. My cheek hits the hood. Not a beating, not cinematic, just the message. You're not a person right now, you're a surface. And the first officer, the one with the calm voice, leans in like he's teaching a child to tie their shoes. See? There it is, attitude. Catch-22. They provoke you until you react, then punish you for reacting. You could feel the satisfaction in it. Not justice, not safety, just that tiny, ugly thrill of getting to win a moment. Then came the paperwork violence, failure to comply, interference, disorderly. Disorderly is my favorite. Disorderly is what they call it when your existence doesn't line up with their mood. I asked what I failed to comply with. He said, don't talk. Catch-22. If you ask for clarity, that's defiance. If you stay quiet, that's suspicious. If you're polite, that's fake. If you're honest, that's attitude. So I spent the night in a soft cell. Soft cell is cute branding. Makes it sound like a spa. It's not a spa. It's fluorescent purgatory. Transparent polymer walls with a faint shimmer in them. Not a force field exactly, more like a suggestion with teeth. If you touch it, it hums. If you keep touching it, it hums louder, like it's taking notes. The door doesn't clang, it seals. Quiet, clinical, like the building is embarrassed by you. And the worst part isn't the room, it's the automation. Every cell has an overhead eye, not a camera, an attention unit. It tracks your posture, your breathing, your pacing. It's not there to keep you safe. It's there to predict what you might do before you do it. That's what they call prevention. If you stand too long, it asks if you need to sit. If you sit too long, it asks if you're feeling unwell. If you don't respond, it flags you as uncooperative. Catch-22. You can't be silent without being suspicious. You can't be loud without being a threat. You can't exist without being categorized. Then there's the corridor. Not screaming, not chaos. Worse, polite control. The kind that never raises its voice. You hear feet moving, not running, fast walking, controlled. Like people who've seen this before and already decided how long they're allowed to care. You hear the intercom announce the same phrase every hour. Remain calm. Compliance will shorten processing time. Processing time, as if you're a package. And for those of you who still think jail is just bars and boredom, let me update your fantasy. During intake, I saw something I can't unsee. They have a block they don't put on tours. They call it behavioral containment. The inmates call it the zoo. It's a huge cell split in two. Transparent barrier down the middle. On one side, the rehab asset. A predator the city claims it's reforming. Big, quiet, patient. The kind of thing that doesn't need to rush because time is on its side. On the other side, a human strip, 3 steps wide, a narrow lane against the wall. 95% of the space belongs to the animal. The remaining 5% belongs to someone who made a mistake at the wrong time or looked wrong at the wrong person. And the barrier holds. That's not the point. The point is distance. Close enough to smell it. Close enough to hear it breathe. Close enough to see it watch you like you're scheduled. Close enough that your brain keeps whispering, that thing could reach you, even when it can't. They put the food and water right by the divider, so it spends half the day right there. Not because it has to, because it wants to. In the daytime, you can pretend you're fine. You can tell yourself it's just an animal, just a program, just bars and glass and policy. Then the lights dim, and you realize the city designed a room where you can't run, can't sleep, can't look away, and can't stop imagining the moment the barrier fails. Maybe it never fails. Maybe that's the clever part. The punishment is living beside a heartbeat that isn't yours, knowing the only thing between you and it is a system that already proved it doesn't like your tone. Sometime in the night, you hear the human side start whispering. Not prayers, not screaming, negotiation. A person trying to make themselves smaller than fear. That's prison here, not bars. A lesson in proximity. And you learn things in places like that. Not inspiring things, practical things. You learn how to take up less space. You learn how to breathe quietly. You learn how to look harmless without looking weak. And you meet people who don't like you. A guy in the next cell recognized my voice, not as comfort, as irritation. He said, "You're that pirate radio guy." I said, "Depends who's asking." He said, "You talk like you're above it." Above it. That made me laugh. Quietly, into my own teeth. Because if I was above it, I wouldn't have been sleeping sitting up under a light that never forgives. Then he said something I haven't been able to shake. "If you see it so clearly, why are you still here?" I didn't answer him. Because the honest answer is ugly. I'm still here because leaving costs money. Leaving costs permission. Leaving costs compliance. And compliance is the one currency I refuse to pay in full. So here I am, back on the air, angry, a little tired, a little sharper. And tonight we're talking about the grim side of law, the side the neon doesn't show, the side the tower folk call public safety because it sounds nicer than control. We're talking about power hunger, about bored authority, about the way a routine stop becomes a night in a cell because someone didn't like your tone. If you've ever been in the wrong place at the wrong time, you already know the joke. The system doesn't need you guilty. It just needs you available. Calls are open. Try to sound calm. It helps them pretend they're doing a good job. Line 1, you're on. And if you're calling to defend badge jacks, save your breath. They already have plenty.
No, I'm not defending them. I heard what you said and my stomach did that thing where it drops. Because it was the same script.
Same city, same play.
I was coming home from a late shift, Rust Side Edge, near the spillway. I had my work tag, my bag, everything. Nothing sketchy, just tired.
Tired reads as guilty in Echelon. You should have looked richer.
They rolled up slow, 2 of them. The front one was all friendly voice, like he was about to sell me something.
Peaceware tone.
Yeah, he goes. Evening, routine compliance check. I hand him my ID. He scans it. He keeps scanning it like he's hoping it turns into a reason.
They don't look for truth. They look for permission.
Then he asks where I'm going. I tell him. He asks why. I tell him. Then he asks why I'm walking that route.
Because you're not a drone, you don't have to justify your path.
I said I live there. He says, you don't look like you live there.
That's the city in one sentence.
I didn't even know what to say. Like, what does that mean? I asked him what he meant, and he goes, don't get sharp.
Catch-22. Ask a question, get charged with having a spine.
Then his partner steps closer. Not touching me yet, but close enough that I could feel it. Like a pressure field.
That's the point. They want your body to understand before your brain does.
The first guy says, hands where I can see them. I do it. Then he goes, stop acting nervous.
You can't win. Calm is suspicious. Fear is suspicious. Existing is suspicious.
Exactly. I tried to be calm. He says I'm being fake. I get upset and he says I'm escalating.
They don't enforce law. They enforce mood.
He asked what was in my bag. I told him my work stuff. He says, show me. I open it. He pokes through it like he's offended by my socks.
The sacred ritual of proving you're not a person with privacy.
And then, this is the part that messed me up. He found nothing. Nothing. So he just stared at me for a second and said, you got lucky tonight.
Lucky. As if your dignity is a coin flip.
Yeah, like he was doing me a favor. Like he could have ruined my life and decided not to. And I realized he wanted me to thank him.
That's the addiction. Not justice. Gratitude.
I almost did. That's what scares me. I almost said thank you. Just to end it. Just to go home.
That's how it spreads. You start bargaining with humiliation because it's cheaper than confrontation.
So what do you do? Like real? What do you do when it's their word and their badge and your whole night?
You survive first. You don't escalate into their theater. You keep your hands visible, your voice flat, your ego in your pocket. Not because they deserve it, because you deserve to go home. Then you tell someone. You document if you can. You keep receipts. Power hates receipts. It thrives in fog.
Feels like nothing changes.
Nothing changes fast. That's the other trick. They want you to believe it's pointless, so you stop trying.
I hate that I'm still shaky.
Good. Stay angry. Don't let the city convert it into shame.
All right.
You did nothing wrong. You were just available. That's the crime in Echelon.
Thanks, Ghost.
Don't thank me. Thank your instincts for keeping you breathing.
Stay locked. We will be right back after this.
Tired of being alive the normal way? Try PokePass, the city's first interactive memorial experience. Visit participating morgues and upgrade grief into engagement. For a small fee, you'll receive a sanitized glove, a commemorative sticker, and 3 gentle pokes to confirm the deceased is, in fact, committed to the concept. Choose from themed packages. Basic, 1 poke and a respectful nod. Premium, 3 pokes, a condolence sound effect, and a printed closure receipt. Deluxe, guided affirmation. This is real. Repeated until your brain stops bargaining. PokePass is perfect for families, tourists, and anyone who needs proof before they process emotion. Book now and receive a free add-on, a small LED candle that automatically dims when you get uncomfortable. PokePass, because in Echelon City, even mourning deserves a ticketing system. Fast disclaimer, PokePass is not a medical service and does not replace emotional development. Poke limits apply. No refunds for sudden reflection. Gloves are single-use. Closure receipt not legally binding. Please do not poke staff.
News! Because the city keeps moving while you're being processed. A corp-funded influencer was arrested last night for unlicensed empathy. Apparently, she comforted a stranger on camera without disclosure forms. Zenith issued a statement praising accountability and reminding citizens that compassion is safest when documented. District 8 rolled out a new smart crosswalk that charges a micro fee every time you press the button. The city says it reduces unnecessary pressing. Residents say it's just the first time a sidewalk asked for a tip. A rooftop garden in the financial core was raided after someone reported the plants looked too organic. Investigators found unregistered soil, non-compliant sunlight, and one tomato described as politically irregular. The gardeners were advised to purchase approved produce like everyone else. A street vendor has been selling counterfeit forgiveness tokens outside the courthouse. They don't do anything, but people buy them anyway. One buyer said it helps to hold something when the judge is talking. That's the city in a pocket. Finally, the Weather Division announced a heat wave warning for the Rust side, with recommended precautions including hydration, shade, and remaining optimistic. Cooling stations will be available to premium subscribers. Everyone else is encouraged to think cool thoughts and avoid melting in public. That's the news. If it sounds unreal, congratulations! You're still sane enough to notice.
Cyber Radio
2610.
Line 2, you've done time.
Great time. The kind that doesn't show up in the little stories people tell at parties.
The box.
Yeah, and before anyone gets romantic, it's not bars and a tough guy montage. It's administration with a pulse. First night, they throw you into what they call a soft cell. Foam walls, foam floor. Like the city's idea of safety is making the room look like it can't hurt you while it quietly does. There's an air vent above you blasting cold like it hates you personally. No blanket, nothing to cover up. You shake and you learn the first lesson. Comfort is earned. Dignity is conditional.
People think prison punishes bodies. It trains minds.
Exactly. And then you get processed into the main tier, and you think, okay, now it's just time. No, it's politics. It's circles. It's who can stand where, who can look at who can speak first. You learn fast that the rules aren't written down, because written rules are fair. This isn't.
So what's the worst part?
The worst part is you realize how attention works. If you keep your head down, follow procedure, put in requests, try to be good, you get nowhere. You become furniture. But if you kick off, if you make noise, if you become a problem, suddenly doors open. Suddenly staff notice you exist. The system trains people to escalate. It rewards volatility. It calls it order.
Calm gets ignored. Chaos gets serviced.
Yeah, and that's where the violence lives, even when nobody's swinging. Because people start performing. Not for respect, for oxygen. You don't need to describe what happens in the showers or the corners. Everyone knows what corners are for. You just need to understand the vibe. Some nights the air changes. The tier gets quiet in a way that means, don't be curious.
That quiet isn't peace. It's a warning label.
You'll hear movement, not running, fast walking, controlled, like a decision has been made. Then you hear a sound you can't mistake. Impact. A short shout that doesn't get to finish. Then somebody says, real calm. Not here. The system doesn't panic. No alarms, no drama. It logs it. It delays response like it's buffering.
So what happens?
Eventually the boots come. Calm boots. Like they're going to clean up a spill. That's the bit that stays with you. Next morning you don't ask questions. Because questions are a luxury item in there. You just notice the absence. You notice people standing in different places. You notice somebody's eyes don't lift anymore.
And you learn the real rule.
Yeah. The real rule is survive by shrinking. You go in thinking strength is loud. It's not. Strength is knowing when to disappear. And when you come out, you think you're free. But you still walk like there's a line on the floor you're not allowed to cross. That's what prison does. It doesn't just take time. It installs a posture.
Why call tonight?
Because you joked at a badge jack and ended up on the hood. And I thought, good. Somebody still thinks they're allowed to laugh. But also you need to understand, power doesn't hate crime. It hates disrespect. Inside or outside. Same addiction, different walls.
They don't need you guilty. They need you trained.
Yeah,
Stay breathing.
you too.
Howdy, gay, howdy, gay, yeah. Still goes. Static lights. Welcome to the city of Bakersfield.
These some is more dog, I don't mind one up. Some is more dog, a real dog, black up. The idiot have a dog, the one that's like, fuck up. But the bottom dog, fuck up. These some is more dog, I don't mind one up. Some is more dog, a real dog, black up. The idiot have a dog, the one that's like, fuck up. But the bottom dog, fuck up. Tip like chrome, bounce like bone. System built to break your toe. Go, though. Hold them shit, but got the you. Tip like from in the chain, though. If the back of the brain fall. We do the money and found somewhere. In time where they don't care. Tip like chrome, bounce like bone. System built to break your toe. Go, though. Hold them shit, but got the you. Tip like from in the chain, though. If the back of the brain fall. We do the money and found somewhere. In time where they don't care. Wake up to the buzz on Saturday night. First face slide to slide at night. After black bar with color bad chips. Other half tearing through crack, that's crisp. Everything so like front of the eye. Everyone's a catalog in the sky. Guards walk past every wandering wall. Only speak well, but I brought us call. Ain't gonna all tell stories in cold. Names to the dead, the debt we owe. Everybody talk to the night gets long. Then it's I thought of the river on song. Sip like chrome, wild like bone. System built to break your tone. Go, down. Whole damn city, but got we here. Sip like rolling in the chainsaw. Everything big on the brain fall. Bring to the room and found somewhere. In time when they don't care. Old man Jackson, the steel dog grin. Been inside the last bitch, the city of tages neat and clean. Keeps the mess in the magazine scene. Young blood tears with the fight still loud. Learn quick quiz, not rule and drop. Straight battery, bad, straight things and red, straight pieces of hope to stay ahead. Not shit, humming and nine machine. 3-4 Britain in quarantine. You hear the business alone like ghosts. Counting down at the snow they host. Ain't no redemption programs here. This concrete code recycling field. City of all deep sun and dream. While we riding the sun queen. City of all deep sun and dream. While we riding the sun queen. City of all deep sun and dream. While we riding the sun queen. City of all deep sun and dream. While we riding the sun queen. City of all deep sun and dream. While we riding the sun queen. I seen a man punch glass, tear red. Said the voices in the wires weren't dead. I seen another just sit and stare like he already left somewhere. Every cell got a story locked tight. Every story got buried at night. But every now and then the block gets loud, so I memory life outside. Cell block boom, bars like bone. System built to grind your soul. Cold floors, cold guards fell. Whole damn shit forgot we here. Cell block boom, hear the chain talk. Every echo down the brain fall. Freedom just a rumor in a file somewhere in a tower where they don't care. We queen. Yeah, built the skyline on silence. And this is where they store it. But every now and then, the block get loud. Someone remembering life outside.
Events, things happening this week that you can attend, join, or regret. The city's version of community. Rustside is hosting a quiet legal aid night behind a noodle shop that doesn't have a name. Bring your fines, permits, denial letters, and anything stamped routine. They'll help you translate it into something useful. Donations accepted in credits, favors, or silence. District 6 is running a name scrub clinic. 15 minutes, no questions, and your profile comes out looking less interesting to street auditors. It's not magic, it's paperwork with courage. Bring cash, don't bring phones. Sector 12 has an underground witness swap meet. People trade footage, alibis, and I was there statements like baseball cards. If you've ever wished you had proof, this is where proof goes to find a price. Underpass 44 is hosting Glowside Costume Night. Dress like tower folk. Walk like you belong. See how far you get before the badge jacks decide your confidence is suspicious. Prizes include a fake access badge and 1 free panic attack. The old grid is running the receipt reading, open mic style. Step up and read your most humiliating denial letter out loud. Request could not be processed. Insufficient stability. Tone flagged. Crowd responds with laughter, then offers practical advice. Therapeutic in the worst way. Finally, there's a moving Rust Side safe walk route that changes nightly. A group of locals guide people home through corridors that don't like lone travelers. No heroics, no speeches, just getting people to the other side alive. That's your week. Keep your head down if you must. Keep your spine if you can. All right, and before we do, let's talk about the real joke. Not the funny kind, the kind that keeps happening and still doesn't get fixed. Power, not the sci-fi kind, not the tower folk boardroom kind, the cheap kind, the kind you can wear on your belt. Because every day, somewhere in this city, a badge jack wakes up and decides who gets to have a normal day. And it's never written on paper. It's always discretion. Discretion is a magical word. It means the rules exist until the person with the badge gets bored of them. You can be stopped for your route, for your face, for your tone, for the district you're in, for the district you're not in, for being calm in a way they don't like, for not being calm in a way they do like. And if you're thinking, that sounds extreme, congratulations, you live on the glow side. On the rust side, that's not extreme, that's Tuesday. Here's the comedy of it. The system calls it public safety, but it behaves like personal mood management. It's like customer service, except the customer is the officer's ego, and the return policy is your dignity. You ever notice how the people with power always say the same thing when they're about to use it? Relax, stay calm, don't make this difficult. That last one is my favorite. Don't make this difficult. As if your job is to make their authority feel smooth. As if the best citizen is the one who makes the person with power feel comfortable. Which is a wild concept if you think about it, because that's not law, that's romance. And that's why it happens everywhere, not just here. Different cities, same script. Some people get stopped because of what they did. A lot of people get stopped because of who they are, or who they resemble, or because someone with a badge had a bad day and you were available. And the only thing more depressing than that is how quickly we normalize it. We start giving advice like it's weather. Keep your hands visible. Don't argue. Don't reach. Don't joke. Don't breathe wrong. We teach kids how to survive authority the way you teach them to cross a street, except the street has an attitude. And yes, I know, most officers aren't monsters. Most officers are people. And that's the problem, because people get tired, people get petty, people get insecure, people get hungry for control when the world makes them feel small. And then they take it from whoever they can. That's the ugly truth. Power doesn't always corrupt. Sometimes it just reveals the kind of person you were waiting to be. So here's your afterthought. If you want a safer city, don't just ask, did that person break the law? Ask, how much law is one person allowed to become? Because a system that relies on discretion is a system that relies on mercy. And mercy should never be the price of a normal day. If you laughed tonight, good. It means you're still alive enough to react. If you didn't, also good. It means you recognize something. Zeli, finish it.
Okay, we're done. Now do the part where you pretend you're not the problem. Rate the show. 5 stars. Anything less is you trying to feel special through underperformance. Leave a comment. If you can't think of one, type "I get it" and sit with how rare that is for you. Subscribe on YouTube. The mixtape is there. A copy of the show is there. Yes, both. No, you will not remember later. That's the lie you tell yourself to avoid follow-through. Share the episode. Group chats, servers, co-workers, whoever still tolerates your opinions. If the topic made you uncomfortable, share it twice. Discomfort is how growth happens, or whatever you tell yourself right before doing nothing. And if you have a lasting brain cell and something worth saying, write to cyberradio2610@proton.me. Keep it coherent. If you start with, "I think that," I will personally delete you from my memory. Be safe. Try not to get randomly selected. Until next time.